the fathers. We came to win, we accept no defeat. We are young, we are strong, we are champions. We gonna rise up above the sea. Africa unite. Together celebrating African days, African loving, African people. African youth, African kings, and African queens.
Okay, it's that time of the day to talk sport on I-FLIER 103.3 FM, the city of Ibadan. The voice of Biodun Apena this lovely Tuesday afternoon. This is I-Sport. And trust me, it's time for Africa once again. It's time for the Super Eagles of Nigeria. Yes, the last time we saw the Super Eagles of Nigeria in action was against the Benin Republic. And of course, we came out triumphant in that game. Yes, Super Eagles scoring 4 goals. And this time around, we are asking them to go all the way against the Panthers of Gabon. Talking about the 2026 playoff. Yes, talking about the World Cup playoff. Very, very important. But then, speaking of Super Eagles of Nigeria this afternoon, I can confirm to you that the total of 21 players are currently in camp right now. And of course, they are definitely getting ready to play against Gabon. Well, the Gabonese national team are also in town, and their manager has been talking tough. But the question this afternoon is there pressure, is there tension for the Super Eagles of Nigeria? We'll get to know. Welcome once again to I-Sport on I-FLIER 103.3 FM, the voice of Biodun Apena this lovely Tuesday afternoon.
Just like the rainbow. It's hard to replace such a good feeling when the note of unity fills the air while the wind blows. Somebody, no tension, no pain.
Definitely, we are winning by the grace of God. But then we just have to do our job on the field of play before you call on Baba God to come and do the job for you.
One spirit, one nation, under God, indivisible, indestructible. Somebody do some victory, Baba God. I say,
Yes, the question this afternoon, has God actually signed our position at the next World Cup in 2026? But then we still have to do our job on the field of play. And talking about doing our job on the field of play, the only team in front of us right now, the Gabonese national team, the Panthers of Gabon, led by Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang, the Marseille striker. The man I've been talking to also, very informed right now. In fact, the last weekend game got a goal for himself for Olympique Marseille. And this time around, the Super Eagles of Nigeria will go on to meet this particular national team. Yes, so on the show this afternoon, we'll talk about the Super Eagles of Nigeria. Of course, we'll talk about stories from the home front. We spoke about the matches that went down yesterday in the MPFL. And by the way, we are on live on the show this afternoon. Yes, we are live on Facebook, I-FLIER 103.3 FM, and you can also get to watch the video of the Super Eagles of Nigeria, their first training yesterday evening in Rabat, Morocco. Right, we'll also talk about other stories from the foreign scene. Talking about the English Premier League, we'll look at stories from the English Premier League and transfer stories also There are lots of stories are currently going on right now, but then one of the major one in the world of transfer is all about Dominic Soboslai, whom has been linked to Manchester City and that of Real Madrid. Well, I might want to say this is not a confirmed story, but then I can confirm to you on the show this afternoon that the likes of Real Madrid and Manchester City are really ready to sign the Hungarian international. But the question is, will Liverpool let go of their number one midfielder, because that young man right now is definitely one of the most important player in the team of Hans Slot. But if top clubs like Manchester City, Real Madrid are interested, then Liverpool have to do enough to make sure they tie that man down. But one thing I'm certain about is the fact that Liverpool would never sell to Manchester City. Maybe Real Madrid, but then Manchester City, I'm not sure. Liverpool will let go of one of their important players to join Manchester City in the transfer market come next summer. Alright, like I told you earlier, we are live on Facebook this afternoon. I-FLIER 103.3 FM live. You can go there, go watch us live. The video of the Super Eagles of Nigeria first training is currently on right now. You can watch that one, of course. Get the feeling of what is currently happening in the camp of the Super Eagles. And speaking of the Super Eagles of Nigeria, today is the birthday of Eric Shell. Yes, the manager of the Super Eagles of Nigeria. Happy birthday to you, Eric Shell, the Malian tactician. Of course, he said he's a Nigerian. Well, we agree, because he's in charge of the Super Eagles of Nigeria. We are saying happy birthday to the manager of the Super Eagles of Nigeria. The best birthday gift for this man is for us to win a game against Gabon. If we can win that game, that is a perfect birthday gift for the Malian tactician. But once again, happy birthday to Eric Shell. We're celebrating his birthday today. And speaking of the Super Eagles, also 90th appearances for the Super Eagles of Nigeria. Well, maybe you tell me the first game this young man actually get to feature for the Super Eagles of Nigeria. If you get it on the show, there's something for you this afternoon. So welcome once again to iSport on I-FLIER 103.3 FM. Let's get into all of the nitty-gritty on the show. And of course, we'll be starting from the camp of the Super Eagles. Alright, according to report this afternoon, a total of 21 players are now in the camp of the Super Eagles ahead of Nigeria 2026 FIFA World Cup playoff with Gabon on Thursday evening. Eric Shaw's side opened camp on Sunday in Morocco for the World Cup playoff. And so far, so good. We've got 21 players. For the sake of people who are not aware of, the guys who are in camp right now, let me bring you up to speed concerning that one. Yes, we've got Calvin Bassi, Alex Iwobi, Amo Chukwueze, Tolulope Aroko, Dare, Olakunle Olusegun, Wilfred Onye Indidi, Moses Simon, William Trust Ekong, the captain of the team, Benjamin Frederick, we've got Chidozie Awazi, Amas Obasoge, Stanley Wabali, the number one goalkeeper for the Super Eagles of Nigeria, Shemilogo Ajayi, Ademola Lukman, the current African Footballer of the Year, Ako Adam, the Sevilla striker, of course, is involved in this one. And talking about his teammate back then in the Spanish La Liga, he also plays for Sevilla FC. Talking about Chidera Ejuke, is also in camp. Yes, in the Super Eagles of Nigerian camp as we speak. Bright Osai Samo, Rafael Oyedika, all the way from Club Brugge in Belgium. Franco Yenka, all the way from Brentford. Seydou Sanusi, FC Porto, and not to forget Olympiacos, wing back. Yes, talking about Bruno Oyemechi, also making the Super Eagles of Nigerian camp. Yes, a total of 21 players are currently in the camp of the Super Eagles. Well, the rest of the guys are expected before the end of the day or tomorrow because our game is going to be on Thursday. So all of the guys, remaining guys who are yet to join the camp of the Super Eagles need to hit the camp today or latest tomorrow morning. Very important for them. A whole lot of people have been talking about, where is Victor Osimhen? He left Galatasaray very, very early. Maybe you can never tell. Maybe some sort of delay for our number one striker Victor Osimhen. It's very important for us to have Victor Osimhen in camp right now. Considering what the young man did against Benin Republic, it is really, really important. But then what I can confirm to you is that Victor Osimhen will also join the camp of the Super Eagles very, very soon. Alright, moving forward on the show, still talking about the camp of the Super Eagles. Well, let's talk about the captain of the team who had a lot to say prior to a game against Gabon. Let's talking about William Troost Ekong has come out to say the Super Eagles of Nigeria cannot afford to make mistakes as they fight to secure their place at the 2026 FIFA World Cup. We are going into a crucial game, and if you look at how the Gabonese national team have been talking, it seems these guys are ready for the Super Eagles of Nigeria. But trust Nigeria, we are not saying anything as at this moment. None of the players has actually come out to say, oh, we are going to do this, we are going to do that. Nothing of such has actually happened as at this moment. I cannot say, before the day runs out or tomorrow, they might come to the media to actually say one or two things. But if you look at the body language of the Gabonese national team, they've been saying all sorts of things, and I think they should do the talking on the field of play, which is very, very important. But then the manager has been talking, the players also, they've been talking that they are ready for the Super Eagles of Nigeria, they are going to deploy this, they are going to deploy that to make sure we did not actually win that game. But this is the Super Eagles. We are more like the Brazilian national team of Africa when it comes to the world of football. But then this is football, where anything can happen. If you are talking about a sport that you can expect a miracle to happen, it is football, and I'm looking forward to that game on Thursday. Yes, 5 p.m. Nigerian time is when we'll get to see the Super Eagles of Nigeria in action once again. Right, while we are still celebrating the Super Eagles of Nigeria, let's celebrate the Falconets. Yes, who also came out triumphant in the Wafu B Under 20 Girls Cup. Yes, once again, the women team are doing us proud out there. Talking about Nigerian Falconet, the major champion at the Wafubi Under 20 Girls Tournament in Benin Republic after beating Ghana, yes, 3-0 on Tuesday. Of course, that game went down today, and they came out, triumphant in that game. Well, big congratulations to them. The likes of Janet scored the opening goal for Nigeria in the 17 minutes, while Alaba Olabi doubled the advantage 7 minutes later. Ramotalai Karim also netted Nigerian third goal on the hour mark to give the Falconets the victory they were actually looking for in that particular game. Where if you're talking about Nigeria Ghana, it is always more like a war, and at the end of the day, yes, the Falconets came out triumphant in this particular game. Once again, congratulations to our girls for getting the job done in that particular one. Conversation here in the studio on the show for today. All right, quickly let's move away from the home front. Let's quickly go straight to the foreign scene and bring you up to speed with some of the trending stories on the show this afternoon. Right, moving forward on the show this afternoon, let's talk about the three lions of England. Chelsea defender Trevor Chalobah and Manchester City goalkeeper James Trafford have been called up to the England squad following the withdrawal of Newcastle United Anthony Gordon and Nick Pope. These guys are injured and they had to, leave the English national team camp. And of course, if you look at those who have been called upon, these are capable hands also who have been in top form. Maybe you want to say, talking about the Manchester City goalkeeper, yes, the man who, was actually has been deputizing for Manchester City since the start of the season. But then they signed Donnarumma all the way from Paris Saint-Germain, and it became, their go-to man anytime, any day. Maybe you want to say that young man is not in form right now. But then, if you look at, how some of these guys have been complaining also about fixtures conjecture. Some of them are saying they are playing too much game. But this is a perfect, opportunity for them to actually take a day to rest before they will go on to actually prosecute their game. But then, looking at Arsenal, this is, a great deal for them. If you look at the kind of opponent they will go on to face, also Crystal Palace has been in great form, and they will look like a team that can actually give Arsenal a run for their money. So let's move away from that. Still looking at stories from the foreign scene on the show this afternoon. Let's talk about Barcelona star boy Lamine Yamal. Right, talking about Spain star boy and of course Barcelona star boy, the Spanish footballer time before a return to the field of play. But the man is back right now, doing well for himself. But then I think they need to take one or two lessons from what happened to Pedri, and of course apply it to making sure Lamine Yamal is healthy. It is very, very important for him because these guys, they do not care about, we want to rest him. They virtually use him for every of their games. And right now, the Spanish Football Association are saying they're surprised and concerned